What up, YouTube? It's your boy Open Mind. Just want to make a quick video about how publicly traded companies, so to speak, pay their workers less, or look for reasons to pay their workers less, if not lay them off for dumb reasons. And I want to get into it real quick, not make the video too long. And below the video, there will be links to prove my point and back my case. Oftentimes, a lot of us, we've had our jobs, and we've been in situations where the jobs say they're about to start downsizing, they're about to start laying people off. So, be on your toes. Don't come to work late. Don't call off. They looking for any reason to lay you off, any reason to fire you, blah, blah, blah. And I want to give you a reason for that. The reason is very simple. It's not even rocket science. But a lot of us don't think about it from these terms because we're at work. We're like zombies. We punch in, we do our job, we punch out, we go home, we fight traffic. It's just our little, monotonous routine of life. But anytime you hear where the company is about to start laying people off and downsizing, the reason being is because the company has too many shareholders. Anytime a publicly traded company is open for people to buy stock, the public, people who don't work for the company, outside people who got, fat pockets, deep pockets that can buy shares into the company up to a cap, because certain companies have it capped. Most publicly traded companies are going to maintain 51% ownership of the company and let 49% or whatever the difference is between the employees and outside sources purchase so much stock. That way a company has, maintains ownership of themselves. Publicly traded companies, not private companies. But even private companies can run into this problem too. But for the most part, here's why everybody's gonna get laid off, or they're about to start laying people off, or if they're not laying you off, they need an excuse to not pay everybody what they deserve. Like, just start. Everybody got to take a pay cut because we didn't make enough money this quarter, or some bullshit they telling y'all. Here's why y'all have to either take a pay cut or you're about to get laid off from your job. The shareholders. Most publicly traded companies value their shareholders more than their workers, because the shareholders invest lump sums of money into the company. The company uses that lump sum of money to upgrade itself, improve itself, pay some bills, whatever the case may be, but they have to recoup that money. And as they recoup that money as a company, they have to pay those shareholders back. Not to mention, the shareholders want a percentage of profit as the company grows. So as the company profits, the shareholders are going to get their percentage, their piece of that pie. Then it'll trickle down to the workers. In other words, the workers of the companies are the last to get any benefits. Although they're going to feed you bullshit and tell you as a worker that we value your work, we value your services, blah, blah, blah. Wipe your ass, rub your back, stroke your dick, finger your pussy, whatever the fuck. They're going to do what they got to do and say what they got to say to make you feel better, but they don't really give a fuck about you as much as they care about their shareholders. Shareholders for most companies, whether this is admitted to or not, it's not going to be publicly admitted. But if you look into it and pay attention to where you work at and actually look, you will see that shareholders who have a stake in a company are more valued than workers. It's just that simple. I will give y'all an example that a lot of us probably didn't pay attention to. There was a video where an Uber driver had the CEO of Uber, the CEO at the time. If I had to guess, I think the guy stepped down after the video, but I think it was like a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. There was an Uber driver had a video up of the CEO of Uber at the time, and they were just going back and forth. He was saying, we Uber drivers, we don't make enough money, bitching about how much money they make. And the CEO threw it back at him saying, you need to take responsibility for your life. And what y'all drivers don't understand is we have shareholders, we have stockholders. He admitted it right there on video. If y'all go back and either Google search or YouTube search the Uber driver getting into an argument with the Uber CEO at the time, because I still, if I have to guess, I don't know too much about it. I ain't looked too deep into it, but I remember the guy stepping down because the video surfaced. He said in response to the Uber driver, somewhere along the lines of, we have to pay our shareholders. We don't make the money y'all think we make. Our shareholders have to blah, blah, blah. That was direct admission to how companies run themselves. And that's just you using that video, for example. If I'll look for the link myself because I'm speaking on it, and I'll try to post a link to the video of the CEO of Uber arguing with the Uber driver at the time, and I'll post other links, article links to state my case. Bottom line, shareholders and stockholders who invest lump sums of money or buy shares of the company. I'm not talking about small shares. I'm not talking about $100 a share or a few little stocks. I'm talking about the investors, the people who behind the scenes and those business meetings buy huge shares up to where it's capped at, because you can't buy the whole company unless the company sells itself. But there are shareholders who own 10%, 15%, 9%, 12% up to the cap, where the company only lets you go up to like 49, I believe, because the company itself is going to maintain at least 51% of the company so they can have the control. But the shareholders want their money back. They've invested chunks of money into the company. They want their money back on top of profit. So as companies profit, they have to pay back their shareholders the money they invested, as well as give them a percentage of the profit that they made. And then they pay you, the worker. Yes, you, the worker, can buy shares of your company, but y'all ain't got enough really to own as much percentage as these outside investors own. They just make y'all think that. They say buy stock into the company, and your stock ownership, you put in this much, we'll match it with that much. You know, all that's just to make you feel good. That's just to wipe your ass, rub your feet, give you a massage verbally, but you really don't have that. Why is it that you have to wait till you retire, 10 years vested into the company, 5 years vested, however that works? You can't really feel like you've made a lot of money through busting your ass, breaking your back for a particular company until you've been with them for at least 20 years. And then even that much, if you get the 500,000 or the 1 million, if they still a company, they still standing, you done worked your ass off. Whereas an investor can probably pocket a good 200, 300,000 each quarter that the company profits. Whereas you, the worker, busting your ass for the company, you got to wait 10, 15, 20 years to even see a portion of what you think retirement is. It's all a big circle of bullshit. Links below will prove my case. But for the most part, when you hear a company is downsizing or cutting in pay, and they say because we didn't profit this year, and they trying to blame y'all for little incidents that happen on the company, they demonizing y'all and making y'all feel like as workers that y'all the reason we're not profiting. Cut bad customer service, or if it's not a customer service type of company, it's just a company that doesn't deal with customers. They want to nitpick at every little bitty mistake you make and look for reasons to fire you because they have to pay you a wage. You're the worker. You are the meat of the company, no matter what company it is. If it's a restaurant, if it's a warehouse, if it's a tech company, you, the worker, do the work for these people. But there's these other people who don't work for the company, but invest chunks and lump sums of money, and they're going to get their share first. It's just what it is, people. Companies pander to and kiss the ass of investors because companies need that investment money to get themselves out of debt, to upgrade themselves, to do whatever. And then as they profit, they have to pay those investors back. It's just that simple, people. This your boy Open Mind. I just want to drop some knowledge bombs on y'all. Check out the links below. Check out the Uber video of the Uber CEO. Just listen to the part where he says he has to pay his shareholders. That part I want y'all to zero into, and then segue into the links below as the articles explain how shareholders are ruining the businesses of companies and how workers are just continue to treat it like shit. Of course, I'm not telling y'all to quit your jobs. I just want you to be aware of when you hear your company start saying they have to either pay cut, downsize, and lay off. That's the reason, and that's the only reason. It's not because you're not doing your job good enough. It's not because you're not pulling your weight. It's not what they say it is. The bottom line reason for any company to start paying, cutting pay, downsizing, lowering wages is simply because they have to pay their shareholders the profits that they make. And as shareholders invest more and more chunks, the company continues to pander to them. What companies need to do is stop allowing so many people to invest and just let profits come in. Just sustain yourself as a company. Allow a couple of investors in there, because of course, as a company, you might need a good $100,000 or $2 or $3 million investment into your company to make some upgrades. But don't let 10 or 12 people invest $1 million a piece, because you're gonna be their slave. As a CEO, you're gonna be a slave to the shareholder, and you're gonna shit on your workers, and eventually your company's gonna go under because everybody's gonna quit and go somewhere else. This your boy Open Mind, dropping truth bombs. I'll holler at y'all another day. Creator bless, y'all get money. Deuces.